Now, when people talk about the history of computing, not that many people will bring Wells up in that conversation, but they were responsible for 2 high-profile computers. Now, the Sam Coupe we've already talked about, but we're going to talk about a machine that flies its heritage with absolute pride. So here we are with the Dragon Data Dragon 32, born in 1982 in Port Talbot, Wales. A year later, the 64K compatriot to the 32K machine was released, the obviously named Dragon 64. It's based on a Motorola 6809E and is powered by Microsoft's Extended BASIC. Now, the hardware specs are very similar to the TRS-80 color computer. In fact, you can convert a Coco to a Dragon by swapping the ROM and rewiring the keyboard. The Dragon is probably best known for its predominantly green colour scheme. This is due to the main display mode being black on green, although technically it's dark green on green. But there were other modes, including some high resolution and black and white modes. Initially, the Dragon sold well. Its processor was powerful and a lot of developers got on board. Unfortunately, its relative weakness in regards to graphics compared to competing machines and cost-cutting methods resulting in things like the uppercase-only character set meant that it started to lose out in the market. Slight missteps like releasing a disk system that wasn't compatible with an already existing third-party system resulted in confusion when 2 different formats of disk software was available. Dragon Data filed for bankruptcy in 1984. Its assets, including the rights to the Dragon, were purchased by Eurohard SA, a Spanish company which moved the factory from Wales to Spain. It sold the Dragon until it too went bust in 1987. The Dragon was still sold though through other parties until 1991. The Dragon is one of those machines that built up a huge following. There are numerous user groups and several meetups, including one at the rather wonderful Centre for Computing History in Cambridge, UK. The Dragon 32 is still fairly available online. It tends to be sold between £90 and £150 depending on condition. The Dragon 64 is harder to get and retails quite a bit higher, although it is possible to upgrade some versions of the 32 to the 64. Right, well, that's all the data. So, let's talk about the machine. This is it, obviously. It's quite a nice style machine. I really quite like it. Nice colourful badge there with, you say about it flying the flag. There it is. The Welsh Dragon is proudly put on it and also on its box as well. If I can get this without making too much noise. My rapidly disintegrating box here, you'll see. So festooned with the Welsh Dragon. It's also very, very light, to the point where the first time I got this out of the box, I almost smacked myself in the face with it because I was expecting it to be quite a bit heavier. It looks like it should be heavy, but in fact, it's incredibly light. There's not a huge amount inside. If you look, the power supply is extra. The power supply actually is quite heavy. Makes up a lot of the bulk of the box. But yeah, because that's external, then this is actually quite light. I think possibly the thing that confused me is because it looks a little bit like a BBC Micro, and that has an internal power supply and is quite heavy. So I think that's possibly what confused me. Right, well, let's have a look around the little machine then. Right, there you go, we've got a light source on it. So if we take a little look here, we've got a RF jack there. Fortunately, not the only option you've got. There's a nice push button reset button, a joystick port, the tape port, the second joystick port, so they're actually marked left and right, and an I/O port where you can put in various things, things like printers and what have you. Go to the back. Slightly simpler one actually. This is actually the power supply. Yeah, it's a D9 socket. Don't plug your Atari joysticks in there. I won't do much obviously. A nice round clicky on-off button, and this is the monitor socket, which is a nice way of getting out some decent composite signals from it, although the cable is weirdly wired, by the way. If you try to use something like let's say a Mega Drive cable, the Mega Drive 1, which has got the right number of pins, it will end up coming through one of the audio jacks, which isn't always the best quality wire, so you may have to get a specially made one. And on this side is just a add-on cartridge socket. Yeah, we're using our phone as a light source here. Let's try to get that decent. So I do have studio lights, but they not quite working at the moment. And so there you see, That's a cartridge socket. Now that contains many things, but one of the main things at the moment are these. So this is a Coco SDC, and this is a SD solution, which, as you can think by the name, is for the TRS, but it also works really well with the Dragon. Indeed, it has a jumper specifically for the Dragon. So definitely worth getting. This is a 3D printed case. My 3D printer is not working fully yet, but it didn't do too bad a job. Right, and yeah, we can see it's an okay keyboard. It's not too bad. This one's a little bit and doesn't work perfectly, but it's not terrible. Not terrible at all. It's certainly better than a few machines we can name. Right, well, we should take a look at some games. This is going to be hit or miss. I recently did a live stream with this machine, and it was very ropey, so I think this machine needs some maintenance. Potentially the memory chips are playing up, I'm not sure yet, so we'll have to have a little look. But yeah, we will of course be using the Coco SDC to load up some games, and yeah, we'll see how well it works. Right, see you in a bit. Right, and that's it. Yeah, it's an interesting machine, the Dragon 32. Kind of oddly unique in its non-uniqueness, if you kind of get what I mean. The fact that it's so close to another machine is kind of, they're almost cross-compatible, is interesting in its own right. It's a fun machine to own, and at the moment they are still, I would say, obtainable, but obviously prices, like everything in the retro community, is going up slowly. But yeah, they're worth owning, and they're not too hard to maintain as well by the looks of things. Although I maybe change my mind when I have to do some work on this one, which I think is going to be soon. But yeah, a nice machine. I like owning one. Right, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit like. If you really enjoyed the video, please hit subscribe. If you didn't enjoy the video, or you have something else to say, then please leave it in the comments below. See you next time.